Know that Canadians are increasingly concerned about a rising rate of drivers hitting the road while high once pot becomes legal soon. But a new survey of pot users may give us even more reason to be worried. Now, for more on the results, we're joined live now by Elliot Silverstein, CAA's Manager of Government Relations. Elliot, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, with alcohol, young men have consistently been overrepresented when it comes to drinking and driving, the frequency, DUIs, terrible collisions, that kind of thing. Is it the same with pot?
So we are seeing that in terms of the cannabis users, it is young men, it is individuals that are in the G1, G2 classification range, which brings its own issues as well, because those are individuals that are currently under law not allowed to have any alcohol or any drugs in their system. So that would bring an immediate 3-day suspension right now.
Now here's the newsflash. Weed does not cancel out booze or stimulants when you get behind the wheel. A lot of people think that's the case, right? I'll take the edge off and it'll help me drive. That's just a myth.
It is a myth, and I think what we're seeing today is we're dealing with a lot of realities. And like what we saw through our survey is that in the last 3 months, or over a 3-month span, 200,000 Ontarian drivers are getting behind the wheel after having both cannabis and alcohol in their systems. So, you know, people think they know their limits in some respects, but when you start mixing, or what we call a poly user, when you put those together, that becomes a bit of a question. Can they actually handle their tolerance that they think they have?
Yeah. Then you've got things like, strains, strength, potency. There's a lot of young, but not just young, but also first-time drivers out there who may have actually been smoking weed regularly for a couple of years before they've ever gotten behind the wheel of a vehicle. So they already kind of have that, I'm 17 and I'm bulletproof thing.
And that's really, from our perspective from CA, what we're trying to hit home today is really public education, because at the end of the day, driving is a privilege. So when you go forward, we want to make sure people are safe, and that's why there are the protection measures in place for people that are in their early stages of driving to not have anything in their systems. But it is also a reminder for everybody that when you get behind the wheel, make sure you're able to do it, and that any type of impairment is a challenge for yourself on the road.
Now, some of the big producers and the growers out there, they're also getting ahead of October 17th. Some are commissioning studies on safety, evaluating thresholds of impairment. These partnerships are obviously great education tools. They have the resources, but my question, do you think they would bear the responsibility like big brewers or big distillers would with alcohol?
I think everybody shares a responsibility in this discussion. I think because, this is really new ground that we're exploring. This is completely new. We haven't really seen anything like this in many generations, and we're trying to work this all out in real time about what it means for safety on the roads, what it means for so many other aspects. And I think the more that people can work together to find solutions and work in tandem to get people to understand the public education being so vital is really going to help us along the way, because at the end of the day, we all want to get home safely. We all want to make sure that people are functioning and cognitively able to function behind the wheel.
And when it comes to police, last week we did a story on the services in Peel and here in Toronto expressing concerns about the saliva test technology. The optimum range for using that tech is +4 to 40 degrees Celsius. We live in a country where, 6-7 months of the year, it's going to be below that range. And that could create, legal loopholes for tossing out possible convictions. That's not good.
Much like everything we discussed, a lot of this is a learning process. And I think that right now, with the tools that are out there, police can also use the drug recognition components where they're being trained to visualize it, and using the test as one mechanism that they have. But even through our survey, we found that there is almost 3/4 of people saying that they want to see police equipped with the tools they need to be able to detect it. So I think that there's general adoption and general acceptance that police need to be mobilized, but really we're working in real time, and we need to be able to try and address these issues with education to try and help offset and support the police as they try to keep our roads safe.
Now, the academics suggest that there will likely be a spike in arrests and use of cannabis behind the wheel, between October and Christmas. And is that the expectation?
And that's part of what we saw through the study that we conducted, where we saw that over 200,000 Ontarians would have gotten behind the wheel with alcohol and cannabis. And as we head towards the Christmas season, and people are going to, where they would typically have a drink, they may smoke cannabis at the same time, and it actually changes for some of them their abilities to handle things. So I think that caution is really at the forefront, making people aware of understanding what their thresholds are, and making sure they have alternatives in place if they have to.
Yeah, it's still too far and too fast for some people, but as we say, it's time to rip the Band-Aid because it's coming. There's no getting around that. And then the whole enigma of drinks, edibles, all that stuff's down the line in the spring. We'll have you back for that. Elliot, thanks for being here. Elliot Silverstein from CAA. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
All right.